Today we are on our 9th day of the 21 days of fasting, the year of the full house. Today's theme is 3 levels of the Christian life. To begin with, I want you to reflect in this sentence. The desert is a place where we all pass, but it should be a quick passage and not a prolonged one. The Word of God says that Jesus stayed 40 days in the desert, while Moses stayed 40 years. And the generation that was delivered out of Egypt died in this wilderness. God's purpose in our lives, it's not that we spend years in the wilderness. He wants to take you to the promised land on a quick journey. I want to show to you 3 levels of Christians. The first level is the fall. In 1 Corinthians 10:12, it says, "So if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall." This has to do with Egypt, from where we were delivered, and we must not return there. If we bring it into our everyday life, Egypt symbolizes the world. A lot of people have left, but they are in a position not to return to the world. They live in fear of the devil, of the world, of the fall. Their goal is just not to fall. These people, they live like the people of Israel, whom, when they arrived before the Red Sea, they knew the Pharaoh was coming with his army. They only speak of death. This points to fear of falling. They told Moses, "Was that because there were no graves in Egypt, that you brought us here to die on this desert? Why did you take us away? Why are you bringing us out of Egypt?" Exodus 14:11. After they witnessed the miracle of crossing the Red Sea, and yet they murmured against God and against Moses. "Shall we drink when we find a well of bitter water?" In Exodus 14:24, "Yet God turned the bitter water into sweet, but so they kept murmuring. They lived not to die." We cannot live a life in a purpose of not falling, not sinning, and trying to do everything by our strength. Seek to live a holy life. It is not by your strength, but by God's. People who live by thinking of not falling have never fulfilled God's purpose in their lives. The second level is survival, giving us the day our daily bread, Matthew 6:11. Brothers who lives on that level, they overcome the fear of falling and dying. But this person always is happy to live by the basics. Of course, we should ask for bread, but we should pray for something more. If we only have enough for our family, how we are going to help the other brothers? How we will help the church? We have a rich dad. He gives us in abundance, just as manna fell from heaven every day to God's people in the wilderness. God will provide abundantly. The third level of the Christian life is the abuse of craving. At this level, you no longer live in the desert, but in a land flowing with milk and honey. At this level, we live in Canaan, which, despite the giants and enemies, we have the grace of God and an abundant harvest. Joshua 5:12 says, "This land is the place of victory over the enemies." When you arrive in Canaan, God fights on your side. These people defeated many armies, conquered kingdoms. This land is a place of purpose. When you find yourself under God's purpose and not your purpose, you will move forward. This land is the place of worship. It's a place that we worship this God, this beautiful God, this wonderful God who fights wars on our behalf, who gives us food, the best food we can eat. The manna from heaven, it's coming. He has given us wonderful things because we no longer live in the desert. He gave us news from this land. Canaan is a place of worship. You live in that place. You are not here just to survive or to think about the fall. You are here to live in Cana, to reign together with Christ. This has already been achieved on the cross of Calvary for you.